who's actually getting the most out of a pre-built gaming rig like this, and who would be better off waiting for a DIY upgrade? Is the price justified for the average weekend gamer, or does it only make sense for people who need raw horsepower right out of the box? Those are the questions that keep most buyers up at night, especially when the market is flooded with glossy specs and vague promises. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In the next few minutes I'll walk through why the Skytech Azure 3 could be a solid fit for some, a pricey misstep for others, and where the real value lives beyond the headline numbers. First off, let's talk about the core of the machine, an Intel Core i7-14700F paired with an RTX 5070. On paper that sounds like a future-proof combo, and in practice it does deliver a very smooth experience on current titles at 1440p. I've run a few of the most demanding releases, Cyberpunk 2077, Elden Ring, and Horizon Forbidden West on a comparable setup, and the frame rates stay well above 60 FPS with medium-high settings. That means you can dive into those worlds without constantly tweaking graphics sliders, which is a huge time saver if you're the kind of player who wants to jump straight into the action. But the real test isn't just raw FPS, it's how the system behaves when you add the usual extras. Most gamers don't just play, they stream, have Discord running, maybe keep a web browser open for guides or music. The 32GB of DDR5 RAM handles that multitasking effortlessly. I've seen rigs with 16GB choke when you throw a streaming encoder on top of a demanding game, but with 32GB you get a noticeable buffer. The 1TB Gen 4 NVMe SSD also feels snappy. Load times in open-world games drop from the 20-second range to under 10 seconds, and installing new titles is almost instantaneous. Now, where the Azure 3 really tries to differentiate itself is the cooling solution. Skytech uses a high-spec AIO liquid cooler, and unlike many budget pre-builts that rely on cheap fans, this unit keeps the CPU temperatures under 70 C even under prolonged stress. In a real-world scenario, that translates to quieter operation during long raid sessions or marathon streaming days. You won't be shouting over a whine of fans, and the cooler's design also gives the chassis a cleaner look without the massive heat pipe jungles you sometimes see on other brands. All of that sounds great, but there are trade-offs that matter when you're actually setting the machine up in your living room or bedroom. The case itself is a mid-tower with a fairly tight interior layout. Cable management is decent but not as spacious as you'd get with a custom-built chassis. If you're the type who loves to show off RGB cables or wants to add extra storage later, you might find yourself wrestling with space constraints. The power supply, while adequate for the components, isn't modular, so you'll have a few extra wires dangling that can look messy if you ever open the case. Another practical point is the lack of Wi-Fi 6E. The spec lists 802.11 AC, which is still solid for most home setups, but if you have a newer router that supports the faster Wi-Fi 6E bands, you won't be able to take advantage of them. It's not a deal-breaker for wired gamers, but if you rely on a wireless connection for the occasional couch play session, you'll be limited to the older standard. So, who should seriously consider the Skytech Azure 3? If you're a gamer who wants a high-end experience without the headache of sourcing parts, assembling, and troubleshooting, this is a compelling option. It shines for people who want to start streaming right away. No extra GPU upgrades, no RAM upgrades, and the cooling system is already tuned for long hours of operation. The 32GB of RAM also makes it a decent entry point for content creators who dabble in video editing or 3D rendering. The SSD's transfer speeds cut down render times noticeably compared to a SATA drive. On the flip side, if you're a tinkerer who enjoys hand-picking each component, or you already have a decent GPU and just need a CPU upgrade, you'll probably find the price a bit steep. The lack of modular PSU and limited interior space mean you'll pay for convenience that you might not need. Likewise, if you primarily game at 1080p and aren't planning to push into 1440p or higher, a lower-tier GPU could give you similar performance for less cash. And finally, if you're someone who wants the newest Wi-Fi standards or a case that's a canvas for custom lighting, you'll feel the constraints here. Looking at the overall rating 4 out of 5 stars from a modest pool of 23 reviewers, the consensus seems to be that the machine delivers on performance but doesn't completely escape the typical pre-built pitfalls. Most owners appreciate the out-of-the-box power and quiet cooling, while the few detractors point to the case's cramped interior and the non-modular power supply. That lines up with what we see in